Let me take just one quick minute to round up all the moves that have special properties, just so you get a little bit more familiar with remembering what they are, seeing them all in a sequence. His homing moves, he's got the Intimidation, 1+2. And that's one of the ones that can't be beaten when you set it up correctly, so that's a good move. They can't step out of that. It's homing. Down back 1+2 looks pretty similar, honestly. It's a big high bat swing. That's homing, counter hit launcher, etc. Back 2 with that big counter hit damage, and back 2-3 to keep it honest. Those are the back 2 is a homing attack. But those two options together work pretty well. A safe mid and then a huge damage mid on counter hit. But that's pretty much it for his homing moves. So in general, the only one you're going to rely on for neutral is the down back 1+2. You could just do back 2 by itself, but you will also notice none of these are mid. I did not see anywhere in his move list that has a mid homing move. So be aware of that. That's kind of a weakness, but really it doesn't make any difference. If you're expecting the opponent to step, if they've been stepping you a lot, it's not going to matter. No one's really stepping and ducking. So you got to deal with what you have, but down back 1+2 is pretty good. Back 2 is also decent. He has screw attacks that are pretty much the same list, with just a couple of additions. Not all screw attacks are guaranteed to be homing, even though in most cases they are. Intimidate, 1+2, as we saw, is homing, is also a screw attack. So is 1, then 2. That's technically not homing, but it's a screw attack. Down forward 1-1-2. That will cause a screw attack, as well as you getting counter hit by the third. Automatic screw attack right there. Down back 1+2 again. That's 1. Back 1-2 is a screw attack. You'll definitely use that on a couple of specific combos. Like this is one of them, I think. There's a screw attack. And sidestep 2 is technically a screw attack if you were to use that on an already airborne opponent. It crumple stuns on natural hit, but on an airborne opponent, screw attacks. So a couple of those are kind of just like thrown in there, not very practical. You're going to use the ones that have Intimidate stance and combos all the time, and back 1+2 for selective things the next most frequently. Those are pretty much all you need to worry about. Back 1-2 is a failsafe, and the other 2 for when you're, ready to go. Your transition into stances, everything is going good. These are what you want. Back 1-2 is your fail-safe screw attack. Negan has 3 power crush moves. We've seen this one before. Intimidation, 1+2 is also a power crush. Homing, screw attack, safe on block, power crush. Great move. Forward 1+2 is his other power crush. This is a mid. And since it is also a natural launcher, very unsafe. -16 on block. But can't worry about that. Power crushes are used to stop pitbulling opponents, and that's exactly what this does. His other power crush is this. That taunt has armor. He'll take the basic damage from it or whatever, but he'll end up in the Intimidate stance. Let me see if I can show you real quick. 1, 2, 3. Just do that. Oops. Yeah, see, armors all the way through it and ends up in the stance. I don't know if there's a very specific window in there where if he does nothing, he's vulnerable, but yeah, that taunt pretty much armors the whole way through, gets him a free stance. So you can use that to get yourself out of trouble too. Start going into that, and then pow, when they don't get the hint right away. Because this is also an armored move itself, the 1+2 out of stance. So that's kind of an interesting use of Power Crush. He's got a taunt that has armor, and then into a stance with another armor move. So if they're really going in on you, you got plenty of choices to stop it. But that's it for the special property moves for the most part. All that really leaves is combos. You know, we talked about some of the counter hit properties and stuff like that, so we'll go over that in the next section. But that pretty much rounds out his move list and his repertoire of playstyles. Very limited power crush. You don't want to be sitting there getting harassed. Functional screw attacks and poor homing. So if a person is jabbing and poking and walking all around you, you might have a bad time. You need to get on top of them and stop them from doing so by using your couple of moves that have some cool tracking and keeping them off their toes. A smart, aggressive opponent is going to give Negan a hard time, in my opinion. So you need to be proactive and either stay away from them and come at them with your good forward stuff, or beat them to the punch and run your offense with your pokey mix-up stuff up close and your armor and your stance. Use them sparingly and use them well, and you'll be fine.